Welcome to Poképark. We've got plenty of time, so I'm gonna just jump in and then I'll explain what we're gonna do. Tech ready on the timer? All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Hello everyone, I'm Crrool. I do, among others, Pokemon speedrunning, and today we're doing Poképark Wii. Poképark Wii, as a concept, I'm gonna just be very brief about that. The sky is falling. The end of the world is coming. It's basically Chicken Little, and we gotta save it with the power of friendship. So that's what we're gonna do for most of this game. But yeah, here we meet Mew, and a hole opens up in the ground, and we enter the Poképark. Or at least, well, Pikachu enters the Poképark, and the others, we'll see the others when we get there. They'll all be in areas in the Poképark. So, right here at the bottom, we're now entering the Poképark. We're going to start with a bit of a tutorial. This Pokemon Chatot is going to guide us around, tell us about how everything works in the Poképark. We also meet Mew. This is Mew. This is where Mew tells us the Sky Prism has lost its power and it's shattered. These are the pieces of the Sky Prism. There's 14 pieces total, and we need to gather all of them and bring them to the Sky Pavilion. Otherwise, the sky is going to fall, and we're all going to die. And just like that, we wake up in a forest as Pikachu. All of our other friends are gone, and this is Chatot. Now, I'm going to just immediately go on a tangent here. You'll see around, Chatot is going to be our guide throughout this entire game, and I have a little headcanon that Chatot is actually Mew. It's somehow the only Pokemon that seems to know what's going around, and it's also the only Pokemon to enter certain areas. So we're just gonna say Chatot is actually Mew. But yeah, we learn to walk around. That's our first thing. We're gonna just immediately dash because it's faster. There's a crate over here. We're gonna bump our head into the crate. And in the crate over here, there are berries. Berries will unlock certain upgrades that we need along the way. So we actually want to gather certain berries. Now, the route itself should get me enough berries that I shouldn't need to pick up any extras. But it might be convenient to have a few extras just in case. Just in case I happen to go for a backup somewhere because I forgot a friend or whatever. Chatot also teaches how to jump. And just like that, we move on. So now we get to our first skill game. So the way that we make friends in this game is we talk to Pokemon, and Pokemon will request us to spend some time. And that can be playing tag or chase. It can be through a battle. It can be through some other arbitrary requirement. You'll see quite a few of them. And then we get like 60 seconds to do that. That's the first one. That's Chatot. And now that we've did chase with Chatot, Chatot feels dizzy, but we passed no problem, so we get some berries as a reward, and Chatot will be our friend. But yeah, the berries won't be needed for a little while longer. We'll get to it eventually. And now we meet Baniri. Baniri is telling us, there's a bunch of attractions, and if you make friends, you can play attractions, and that's all good fun. Before we can actually go to the park itself, though, there's a Snorlax blocking our path. So we need to go talk to Snorlax and try and wake Snorlax up. So we're going to talk to Snorlax first. And then we talk back to Baniri. And Baniri will teach us how to use Thunderbolt. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to make our way to the park. And while we do, Jim, if you want to do some messages as we make our way to the park, by all means.
So yeah, you can still donate here during this event, where we raise money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues. Mind strives to provide support to individuals and families facing mental health challenges. All of your donations will go to Mind.
Awesome. So, now that the Snorlax has moved out of the way, we can make our way further down the path. So Chatot is going to give us the Poképark pad. This is basically our menu, and it allows us to look up how many friends we've made. And you know, it's going to be tough to fill up the entire pad, but that's how we do. It's also where we save the game. Chatot is now officially our friend. You know, we've already played our chase game there. I need to briefly open that. And we saw Chatot's name, right? You guys all saw that, right? In the 2 frames that we had the menu open. Anyway, now that Chatot is satisfied, we can move on. And it's on to actually entering the Poképark. There is a little sign. They give like hints and whatnot. We don't care. We are not going to bother. Do we want to enter the Poképark? Yes, we do. These loading screens you'll see quite a lot. Unfortunately, there's quite a bit of loading in this game. Anyway, here we go to the first area of the Poképark. This is the Meadow Zone. And the Meadow Zone has a lot of grass-type Pokemon. It has just a lot of... you'll see a lot of early-stage Pokemon. They're usually not all that many very strong ones. But we do meet one of our old friends, Chikorita. Chikorita, you know, we've been separated as we entered the Poképark. They all jumped down the mysterious tunnel, but everybody got split up. But we meet up with Chikorita, and, you know, Baniri tells us about attractions. So we found our friend Chikorita, and now we're going to go play an attraction. And our first attraction is right over here. This is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur runs this first attraction. And this is a dashing attraction. So we're going to just go play that. But the thing is, the leader of the Meadow Zone, Venusaur, doesn't really like Pokemon playing attractions. It's not really much of a thing. So, but you know, it's fine, right? It's all in good fun. Surely we can do that. Now, every attraction, these are quite common, has a clear condition. In this case, it's finishing in 10 seconds, and then a bonus, which are berries we will need if we finish in 9.7. For this one, we just shake the controller, and while we do that, you can do a donation.
Yeah, we have one donation from Spiro with €9 with the message, "Missed seeing one of my favorite streamers, but glad I managed to catch my other favorite streamer. Love seeing good work being done for a good cause. Keep it up." Thanks for the donation.
Thank you. So we've now gotten the bonus. The bonus was for 9.7 seconds. We did it in like 6.8. So more than enough time left over. And that gets us an extra 100 berries. We need those extra berries later on. Like, all of those extra berries are going to be quite important for us because our berry management is quite tight. As a reward for finishing the clear condition of the attraction, we get a Skypiece. And that's the first of 14 that we need to pick up. And Bulbasaur is now our friend. However, Trico and Mankey saw that we did that, and Trico and Mankey have been tasked with making sure the rules are enforced of the park, which means no attractions. That's not allowed. So they're going to take Chikorita away. And we can't have that happen, so we're going to have to go after them. But we're going to make some friends along the way first. We're going to make our way here real quick. I have to talk to the Trico. And the Trico sends us back with a task. He's like, okay, you know what? If you can get the bonus on, or with Turtwig, who's a really slow Pokemon, then we'll let you pass the bridge. We'll let you cross the bridge. So we're going to have to go find Turtwig. On the way, I'm going to go over to the Munchlax over here, because there's a crate here. And in that crate, there's something very, very special. Munchlax is quite hungry, as Munchlaxes are. I mean, it is Snorlax's pre-evolved form. But there's a crate here with a really big berry. So we're going to pick up the big berry, and we're going to give that to Munchlax as a thing. He's like, oh, you gave me food. And he tells us a little about berries, and now he's our friend. So we've made another friend in Munchlax. And that spawns some more Pokemon. Certain Pokemon only spawn in the park after you've become their friend. Now, where is Turtwig? There is Turtwig. We gotta befriend Turtwig. Now, after we get to get Turtwig, I still want to befriend Pachirisu and Baneri. Yeah, with Turtwig, we're gonna play tag again. Now, Turtwig isn't a particularly fast Pokemon, so we're just gonna run up to him and bonk him. And now Turtwig will be our friend, and we now have the requirement to do the attraction. Again, there's quite a lot of Pokemon we still need to get, so we're gonna run around and see if we can find some of them. But at least we have our new friend in Turtwig. I do hope Baneri stays where Baneri is right now. That'd be quite convenient, because I do need to befriend Baneri. Bonsly and Pachirisu are going to show up. We're not going to befriend Bonsly. I shouldn't need... that's unfortunate. But there was... Yep, I was about to say, that's a Pachirisu right next to us. That's really good. So Pachirisu is also going to be chased. Now, Pachirisu is a little bit faster, so it'll be a little harder to catch up. But the idea is the same. We run after Pachirisu. We just need to bonk them. There we go, and that's going to make Pachirisu our friend. In order to be able to complete the game in total, we need to make like 80 friends. I think it's 80. I think I said 60 to somebody earlier, but I believe it's 80 actually. But we need to make a bunch of friends. So that's very convenient. Hello, Baneri. And if we don't have enough friends, then we won't be able to get through the final gate, which unlocks the area before the Sky Pavilion. So we need to make friends, and this early area tends to have a number of relatively quick friends. Like, a chase like this takes like 6-7 seconds. So it's much faster than having to befriend some of the harder Pokemon later on. At this point, I have befriended everyone I needed to befriend here, so we're going to go to Bulbasaur, and we're going to meet that requirement of clearing the attraction with Turtwig. We also see Lotad show up, and Shinx. Lotad I intend to get here. Shinx, not so much just yet. So, we're going to talk to Bulbasaur again. Trico told us he'd let us cross the bridge on the condition that we get the bonus with Turtwig. Again, Turtwig is really slow, so, you know, Trico doesn't believe it's even possible. But, you know, we can do this, right? I believe. So, do we want to play? Yes, we want to play. We want to play the mini game here. And we can now select Turtwig. So there is a bonus for every single Pokemon, and if you unlock every friend and you get the bonus with everyone, that'll allow you to get a legendary. Gotta just shake the controller for this. It is still a Wii game after all. But yeah, that is more than fast enough. I think you have 10.5 seconds to do this. Yeah, 10.5 seconds. We did it in 8. So more than fast enough. We get the bonus with the... that's... Okay, that's a little annoying. It's kind of a thing where you have to menu out after that, and it's very easy to overmash and say play again. In which case I need to go to pick Pokemon and then menu back out, which is a little slower, but it is how it is. It's faster than doing it a second time at least. That's going to happen again. Don't get me wrong. It's just going to happen again. Yeah, we got it. So Trico is going to let us pass the bridge right now, right? Well, let's go towards Trico. I'm seeing a Lotad along the way, which means I'm going to actually interact with this Lotad so that we can befriend it now. And Lotad is the first friend that we get through a battle. Now, battles are another skill game. Most of the battles are quite fast. They usually take 2 hits. If we can somehow knock them into the water, which sometimes they're angled in such a position that you can, then the battle would only take 1 hit. But yeah, we just dash into him. He's now going to attack while he's still invincible, and then I dash again, and that's how we win the battle. So that is Lotad. Lotad is now my friends, and now we're going to talk to Trico to let us cross the bridge, because, you know, he promised, right? So he's like, you know, he's out of the way. I'm going to go for a little bit of an extra strat here by spawning the Caterpie. I don't actually normally friend Caterpie, but it can be convenient if it happens to be on the way in a little bit, because it's one of the fastest Pokemon to befriend. He's a little hard to spot, but we passed through that, like, we passed through it another time, so we may have a chance. And it gets me an extra friend in case I do end up forgetting one somewhere. Okay, I need to dodge that. I can't knock him into the water from there. That's a little unfortunate. But yeah, there we go. That's Mankey. Mankey we befriend just by battling, and it's a required battle. So this is one of the required friends in the game. And he tells us, you know, if we want to talk to Venusaur, which is where Chikorita is at right now, we will have to talk to Croagunk. And another couple of Pokemon are going to spawn here. This is Chimchar. We're not going to care about Chimchar right now. And there might be an Oddish along the way, which I would like to befriend. But I did not see Oddish just yet, so we'll have another chance for it. I want to talk to Croagunk. Croagunk is another battle, but first we need to pay up 200 berries, otherwise he's not going to do anything. And then, you know, he realizes, oh, you're here to help your friends. You know what? Sure, I'll open up the gate, and I'll get you 170 berries back. He also tells us, he gives us a little hint about how to do battles. We're still kind of in like the tutorial-esque area, right? We're gonna go past the gate. We're gonna talk to Venusaur, and Venusaur is going to task us to befriend a couple of Pokemon before Venusaur is going to even allow us to play the attraction here.
Venusaur.
So, we broke the rules, so, you know, we gotta be punished. But if we befriend Croagunk and Spearow, he's willing to give us a chance. Because, you know, those are good Pokemon. If we can be friends with him, he'll give us an opportunity. So, back into the Meadow Zone, we're going to befriend the Croagunk. That's the first of the 2 Pokemon we needed to befriend. That's going to be another one of those very quick battles. And then on the way, I'm going to be on the lookout for a number of Pokemon, among others, the Oddish that I was talking about earlier. But there are a few other options as well. The Caterpie would be one. The Lotad we luckily already got. I'm going to look out for Trico. We want to get the Spearow. Just a lot of Pokemon that we need to look out for. Okay, so Croagunk is going to attack. Not a problem. And then we knock him again, and that's Croagunk. So, on our way back, let's see if we can make some friends along the way here. Scyther now also spawns. Scyther is too slow to get, though. Some of these Pokemons are just quite difficult to get, so we do get them in that category like all friends, but we don't really bother with them here. That's Mankey. I'm still not seeing Oddish, which is a little concerning. I do see Caterpie here, so I'll get this as a backup. The reason we don't do Caterpie usually is because Caterpie doesn't give that many berries. So I'd have to get a few berries extra. But yeah, Caterpie just walks around. It's a chase. That's the chase. So, like, the timer didn't even pop up on the screen, I think. It takes, like, not even a fraction of a second to befriend. But the berries make it not worth it, and it's sometimes kind of hard to spot. And you get the animation of Butterfree coming in. It's like, it isn't a super fast Pokemon, but it's quite fast. Some older routes did actually end up getting... did get Caterpie. Okay, Trico is nicely along the way. That's really good. Trico is a Pokemon I want to get, and I've had situations where I just could not find Trico because he tends to blend in with the background quite well. So yeah, this is a bit of a slower chase because Trico is quite fast, but that's okay. It'll be worth. There we go. That's Trico. So yeah, we get some more berries. Trico is now our friend. And we can move on to Spearow. Dodge the Butterfree. So Spearow is going to give us another type of skill game, the Obstacle Course, or Obstacle Hop. So this is basically like a run and jump sort of situation. We have a limited amount of time to get to the end of the obstacle course, and if we do, Spearow will be our friend. Now, this one's quite easy because it is just 3 hops. So hop, hop, hop. There we go. That's it. There will be some tougher ones later on. Now, once again, we have 2 more chances to find the Oddish, but I do need an Oddish. So hopefully we get Oddish to show up quickly. And that's because Oddish is going to show us the last type of skill game that we want to do, the hide and seek. Around here again, dodge the Butterfree. We don't want to be dealing with that. Okay, Oddish this time is actually in a good position. There we go. Oddish, I want to be your friend. So there's a few places that Oddish can spawn. Let's hope we find it quick. There are some really, really fast ones, and there are some rather slow ones. So let's hope we find it quick. There's like 3 positions that Oddish can be in. Okay, that's the slowest position, but even that's not that slow. So this is hide and seek. Actually, no, that's not true. That's the meh position. That's the average position. Okay. The best one is he basically spawns right behind where we start, and we can usually see him pretty much immediately. But this wasn't too bad. We're gonna now go to Venusaur. We're gonna play Venusaur's attraction, Vine Swing, and we're gonna do that with Mankey. We need to get the bonus here. That's very important. Vine Swing is gonna again use the motion controls, and we're just gonna try and swing as far as we can. Now, generally, this one's not too hard to get the bonus on, but we can fail. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, we convinced Venusaur. You know, it's the rule's kind of annoying because you know there's attractions and we can't clear it, and that's really sad. And you know now the Pokemon are bored, something like that. So he's going to allow us to go to the meeting place, and you know he's going to allow us to play the attraction, and you know maybe we'll convince him. We're going to take Mankey. So we need to get 203 feet as our distance. The goal is only 146, so let's see how we get on. So we swing the controller. That's well over 203 feet. There we go. We get the bonus, and now we can move on. So we're going to walk our way to the exit of this area. We're going to go to the meeting place, which is kind of like the center area of it all, where we're going to, on the way, quickly talk to Starly. It's also my last chance to get Oddish if I hadn't had it yet. But at this point, we're all good. We're going to get another piece of the crystal here. One more sky piece. And then we're going to move on to the next area. And while we do, if you want to do some messages, now might be a good time while we make our way to the meeting zone.
Okay. So, if you donate, your donations during this year's BSG will give you more chances to win prizes than ever before. We have several plushies and paintings, a gaming headset, a display, and game keys. Check them all out over at bsgmarathon.com/donate, where you can also put in your donations.
Feel free to keep going. We have time. If you have more, that is. If you need some time, by all means, I can fill the gap.
So a short word for sponsor Levitt. BSG is happy to welcome Levitt as our premium microphone sponsor. With a focus on your needs and the help of modern and precise manufacturing techniques, Levitt creates audio gear that makes you sound exceptional, whether you're a recording artist, content producer, or streamer. If you want to upgrade your stream to the next level or need an edge in the studio or live on stage, check out the extensive Levitt library of award-winning products to find the right microphone for your budget and needs. And also these announcements are brought to you by the Levitt LSC-T 440 pure microphone you're hearing right now.
All right, so we get to Starly. Starly is going to explain us how we can look around. This is actually the one skill that we never, ever use. So we're going to just ignore whatever Starly had to say. I'm going to move on to the meeting zone. So, meeting place. That's our next area. We're going to load that in. The meeting place doesn't actually have any attractions, but it's kind of like the center hub of every area that we need to clear as we go. There's also this big tree in the center. We're going to build a tree house there, but that'll be a while before we get that. Like right now, it looks very empty. There's also a bunch of Pokemon here that will help us with skills, improving that. We're going to get the instructions of how to make photos. So that's all things we're going to do. But first, we got to talk to Chatot because Chatot is here. So Chatot mentions having given a Poképark pad to Chikorita as well. And we're going to have to talk to Drifblim, to Misdreavus, and to Electabuzz before we can move on to the next area. But first, Chikorita. So the three Pokemon that we need to talk to, the first one here is Drifblim. Drifblim is the taxi service of the Poképark. And Drifblim allows us to just very quickly travel from area to area every time that we've already unlocked it. Very convenient, but right now, we don't care. We're not going to go to the Meadow Zone. We have no reason to go. We have no reason to go there. Now we do need to pay berries to be able to do that. Like Drifblim isn't just going to let us do that, but that's all right. That's not really a problem. Misdreavus here has the photo studio. See, you can make photos of your adventure by pressing the minus button. We're going to make exactly one picture in this entire run because it's required. Other than that, we are not using the photo studio at all. But the Wii system memory can hold up to 30 pictures that we can keep. And then, you could get them and share them with friends and all that. That's the picture we needed to make. I do need to save it, otherwise Misdreavus is not going to allow me to continue. And then we talk to Misdreavus again. And that's two of the Pokemon we needed to talk to here, and now it's on to Electabuzz. Electabuzz is the Pokemon that will upgrade my Thunderbolt if I give him some berries. So for 350 berries, I believe we can get our Thunderbolt upgraded. Now, we will get some power-ups, but not for Thunderbolt, because there's a better move for me to upgrade. So we're going to just say no. We're going to ignore him for now. And now it's... Oh, that's not who I wanted to talk to. Go away, Electabuzz. Nope. I still don't want to upgrade my Thunderbolt. I wanted to jump, but jump and talk are the same key. But yeah, now we talk to Corphish, and Corphish is going to unlock the next area of the game. So, time for us to go to Beach Zone. Hope you guys all like the beach. I mean, it is summer after all, at least over here. So, let's go to the beach, and let's make some friends at the beach. There we go. So, this is, generally speaking, the most RNG-heavy area. There's a lot of Pokemon I want to befriend here, because there's quite a lot of quick friends. But there's also, like, all of the Pokemon, like, the area is quite big, and they can be on a lot of different locations. So we'll see if we get them all. There's two attractions in this place, Pelipper and I'll come back, Gyarados. But before anything else, we're going to talk to Azurill and Slowpoke. Because there's been a fight going on between Feraligatr and Gyarados. They used to be good friends. But, they're fighting for control over who gets to lead the beach area. It has always been Feraligatr, but now Gyarados wants to take over. So, that's a thing. Now, Empoleon is the real leader, but he's in the Empoleon is in the Iceberg Zone, which we need to get to Lapras in order to get there. I'm gonna very quickly. Okay. So Psyduck is the first Pokemon we want to get. Psyduck is going to be another hide and seek. And Psyduck's hide and seek is kind of a fun one. Let's just say Psyduck isn't all that good at hide and seek. Have you spotted the Psyduck yet? Right here. There we go. We befriend Psyduck. Now, in this area, as we go through this, I want to also befriend Azurill, Wingull, Pidgeotto, Staravia, Starly, and Totodile. So we have quite a few more friends to make here. Now, not all of them have spawned yet. For example, I need to befriend Azurill to spawn in Totodile. But I'm seeing Azurill over here, so that's convenient. Azurill, let's talk. Let's play chase. Yes, I agree. Now, I need Starly because I need that for one of the upcoming attractions. That's actually the only one I have to get quite early. And then we want to get Azurill here just because Azurill is... it's going to spawn in the Totodile first place. And we don't immediately have to get it yet. We can cross the bridge if we don't get it just yet. But we'll see if anything is in the neighborhood. I did see Wingle just now, but Wingle might be away by the time. Okay, Wingle, land? Land? Wingle? Okay, maybe not. So we're going to go to Corsola then. Corsola is our next progression. Corsola is going to... Actually, this is a skill game I hadn't mentioned yet. This is the quiz. We're going to just get some questions, and depending on our answers, we may pass or we may not. What's the first thing you must do? You must talk to them. Question 2. What color are the stripes on my back? They are brown. We can see them, so it's quite convenient. Question 3. Which of these 3 Pokemon has claws? I believe that must be for Ralligator. Just like that, we have all of our questions correct, and we're allowed to continue. Corsola is now our friend. This is the easier quiz. There's going to be some harder quizzes later on as well. We go to the other side. Seeing Staravia. So let me talk to Staravia here. Staravia was one of the Pokemon on my list. It's not the required one, but it is a Pokemon that's on my list. Staravia is a battle. Sometimes Staravia gets in a position where I can have him jump into the water. Be very convenient if he would. And just like that. That way I don't have to deal a second hit, which saves a little bit of time. So now Staravia is our friend. That's another one off our list. We're going to also talk to Feraligatr here. Feraligatr is the one who is going to have to allow us to get to Lapras, but Feraligatr doesn't want to do that until we beat the Gyarados. So we're gonna have to deal with that. Vaporeon. I don't need Vaporeon. I need to be on the lookout for Golduck as well. But yeah, we see on the other side of the beach that Piplup and Wynot, they've both gotten stuck on this little island, and the bridge is broken. So we need to figure out a way to fix the bridge. As we do that, we're going to hopefully get the remaining Pokemon. No, don't fly away, Starly. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay. Golduck is all the way in the back, which is a really bad position, actually. But, you know, we found Starly at least. So Starly is another chase. We just need to chase after Starly. The thing with Starly is, you know, it's a flying type, so it's a little harder. There we go. That's Starly. Now, hopefully the Golduck is now a lot closer to us, because I do want to befriend that right now as well. Yes, oh, perfect. Hello, Golduck. So this is actually quite lucky. Golduck was in a position where it would have lost me quite a bit of time to get to it, but luckily he moved into a position where it's quite easy for me to get to him. So that's very convenient. I can't knock him into the water, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm just happy to get Golduck here. Oh, there we go. So we still need Wingull, we still need Pidgeotto, we still need Totodile. I think it's those 3, and then I can move on. So let's be on the lookout for those 3 Pokemon. I am seeing Wingull here. That's decently convenient. I'll take that. So we're going to do another chase with Wingull. So this is another flying-type Pokemon chase, which can be quite annoying. Wingull, please don't go over the water, Wingull. I will... Oh, okay. Just took a 180 there. At least he did what I requested, to be fair. Okay, we got Wingull. So now just Pidgeotto and Totodile left. So we're getting quite close to having every Pokemon I needed in this area. Let's see if we can find one more as we go towards the next area. Hearing Carvana on my right. Pidgeotto, if Pidgeotto lands, Pidgeotto did not land, so I'll go for Totodile instead. But yeah, as we do these last two friends, feel free to do another message. Jim?
Yeah, so if you want to go to more on-site speedrunning events, then our brothers in the United Kingdom are hosting UKSG Blue 23 in Glasgow that runs for the 23rd and 24th September of 2023. They'll be raising money for Crisis.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm not seeing Pidgeotto, so okay, we're gonna just... That's fine. That's fine. Well, we have one more chance to get Pidgeotto. We're gonna spawn the Drifblim, and we're gonna take Drifblim back into the other area. Just gonna make absolutely sure that I haven't missed anything here. No, I have not. We are going to go to the Meadow Zone. So in the Meadow Zone, because the bridge is broken, we know that from having talked to Piplup, and we need to fix the bridge. Now, there is a Pokemon that can do that for us, which is Bidoof. We're going to have to try and get Bidoof's help if we want to do anything. So it's back to the Meadow Zone, which is where Bidoof is at. This way to the bridge. And we're going to go to the left here. See if we can get to Bidoof. That's Spearow. Oh, I'm seeing Chimchar. Very convenient here. There are still a few more friends that I'm going to get now. There's Chimchar, and then later on there are Shinx and Bibarel as well. But since Chimchar was in such a good position there, this might be a good moment to pick that up real quick. There we go, that's Chimchar. And then on my left here should be where Bidoof is at. Bidoof we befriend by helping him build a place so that his family can come over. So rather than... Bidoof, where are you at? Where are you at, buddy? Oh, it's further that way. I see. So Bidoof here is like, you know, I need some lumber to be able to build that home. So we're going to break some crates, and that's going to get us some lumber that we can then give to Bidoof. Now, unfortunately, walking with lumber is really slow, but that's okay. We'll just have to do this. We'll get him the first piece, and now he can make a first room. And we can kind of see him. He's already got the foundation done, and he's going to very slowly build up another room. But that's not quite enough. He needs more than just that one room. I mean, he's got a place now, but it's not quite big enough. So he asks us to collect some more. That way, his cousin can also come over. All the way in the back here, there is another crate that has some lumber in it. So we're going to bonk this, we're gonna grab the lumber, and bring that back to Bidoof for another part of the building. On the way, I am still kind of on the lookout for Shinx. If we happen to see a Shinx, I do want to befriend that. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it right now, because I need to get Bibarel anyway, and Bibarel doesn't spawn until I'm done with Bidoof's side quest. So another part of the house is going to be built here. So now the cousin came over to play, and now we want to make it even better so that his friends can also come over. There's a crate over here. We normally actually pick this up along the way to Bidoof. Kind of forgot to do that. It's not the end of the world, though. It only loses a few seconds not to. We're going to give this to Bidoof. Go. And that's another upgrade to the house. Now, we do have to do one more upgrade. Okay, so now Bidoof's friend can come over. And now, as our last Pokemon, he's going to ask us to do that one more time. But, you know, he heard that his grandma wanted to visit as well. So he asks us for help one more time so that he can make it big enough for grandma to visit. And we're going to do just that. We're going to pick up one more piece of lumber, bring that to Bidoof, and that's the last upgrade of the house we need. At which point, Bidoof will be willing to help us build the bridge in the other area. The Bidoof is very happy now. We helped him out a lot, even though all the crates of lumber were quite close by. So really, he could have done this himself. But hey, if it gets me a friend, I'd be more than happy to help a friend, right? So, we get some berries as a thank you for all our time, and Bidoof is now our friend. And then additionally, you know, Grandma now shows up. It's a lot of berries you get for this one, by the way. And then we can talk to Bidoof again, and he's like, oh, he wants to do something back as a thank you. And we tell him about the bridge in Beach Zone. So he's asked one of the other Bidoofs to go help us in Beach Zone. Okay, now I need Shinx and Bibarel. That's a Butterfree. Those are Bidoofs. That's another Bidoof. That's a Bibarel at least. Okay, we still need to find Shinx. I do need Shinx actually, so... But first we battle the Bibarel. That's at least one of the 2 Pokemon I still needed here. There we go. That's Bibarel. Okay, let's see if we... This is the point I need to find Shinx, because we're not going to be returning to this area. So I'm going to just have to run around until I find Shinx, unfortunately. Where's that little blue rascal? Not over here. Not over here. Come on, Shinx. This is actually really unfortunate. But I do need Shinx to progress. If I really can't find it, I'll just grab a backup somewhere. But the backups are almost always slower. So I'd really rather not. Okay, there's Shinx. That took a while. Gosh, buddy. You at? Yes, we want to play Chase. That's fine. At least we got Shinx now. That means the only Pokemon so far that I've missed is Pidgeotto, so we will need to be on the lookout for that when we are back in Beach Zone. But other than that, we have everybody. See, the thing is, I need a certain amount of friends before we can play Gyarados' attraction. So I'm not really in a position where I can miss that many of these Pokemon. Now, we did pick up the extra Caterpie earlier, so we do have 1 extra friend. We'll see if that ends up being an advantage further down the line. But for now, we're going to go talk to Drifblim. We're going to go back to the Beach Zone, pay him 20 berries. Now that we've already seen the animation, I can actually skip the animation itself, which is quite convenient. You have to sit through it the first time around, but after that, the game just allows you to finish up. Just get through it quickly. All right, let's see. Can we find Pidgeot? That's Spearow. I'm already friends with Spearow. We are going to do much the same thing now. We're going to bring this to Bibarel, or to Bidoof. You know what? No, we have one more chance to find Pidgeotto. If I really can't find Pidgeotto, I might end up just befriending Slowpoke instead, because Slowpoke is rather fast. So Bidoof now wants to start on building the bridge, but Sharpedo and Carvana are not going to agree with that. They tell us, you know, you need the okay from Gyarados, or we're not allowing this. But you know what? You know what? If you can somehow beat Pelipper's attraction, then we'll allow it. But see, here's the thing. Pelipper's attraction requires you to fly. And you know, we can't fly. We're a Pikachu. Pikachu does not fly. Okay, Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto, please land. Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto. Okay, thank you, Pidgeotto. Yes, we want to battle you. Okay. We at least found Pidgeotto in the end. one more hit on Pidgeotto. Yes. There we go. That's what I was trying to do the first time, and then he went behind me. Okay, we've now made all of the friends I needed to make, and I can go to Pelipper to get the next Sky Pavilion piece and to clear out the attraction. But that means going all the way up here. So that's going to take a moment. Now, again, Pikachu can't fly, but we are allowed to use friends for these attractions. So we're going to do just that. We are going to use one of our friends here. So this is Circle Circuit, and in Circle Circuit, you fly around and you collect rings. We need 8,500 at least. I'm going to take Pidgeotto. That means we need to get 12,000 points now. So I'm going to have to focus on this for a moment. Make sure that we get that, because if we get more than 8,500 but less than 12,000, then we don't get the bonus, and I'll be short on berries later. Let's collect 1,000 rings at least. The rainbow rings are the 1,000 rings, so they're worth quite a lot. I couldn't get that one. That's unfortunate. That's another rainbow. Perfect. Okay, let's get that one. That's unfortunate. If we don't need much more, but we're almost, okay, that's 12,000. There we go. We got it in the end. There's quite a lot of rings at the end, so usually towards the end you end up getting it. But we got enough points. We get the bonus. That's a bonus, you know, a bunch of bonus berries. That's another extra 150. Again, the berry count is tight enough where I do need those extra berries. So we've cleared Pelipper, and that's going to shut the Sharpedo and Carvana up for a little bit so that we can build our bridge. Also, we get another prism piece. That's our third one now. 11 more to go. And things are going to speed up a little bit. I've kind of already made enough friends that I should be able to just immediately go for Gyarados once the bridge has been built. Let's make a safety save. We haven't saved at all this run. But just you know, just in case. They shouldn't really be necessary, but... So we now have to run back to Bidoof. And we are going to be building that bridge. Yes, talk to you. Or trigger the cutscene here. And now Sharpedo's like, what? You succeeded? Well, we got friends to help. That's fair enough. But a promise is a promise. We did do what they asked us to. And now we get Sharpedo and Carvana as our friend. And that's good, because the first moment where we actually have a minimum amount of friends is going to be happening soon. Gyarados is the first friend number check, as in, which is to say, there is a minimum amount of friends I need before I'm allowed to play Gyarados' attraction. Yeah, Bidoof has enough lumber for the first bridge, which means now Wynot and Piplup can get to the other side. We have more friends here in Wynot, and Piplup is already our friend, so that's good. You can tell that you've befriended them if there's a little book next to the name. You can see the little rainbow-colored books near the name, which means they're our friends. So we got to bring Bidoof some more lumber so that he can build the remaining parts of the bridge, because, you know, Bidoof isn't quite done yet. We still can't get to Gyarados. So here's a little more lumber. This time it's for us. And I just want you to note how little lumber I'm bringing him and how much bridge he can build for that. We do need to bring a second bunch of those. But it's not just one bridge he's going to build. He's going to be building 2 bridges with this. So that's why we're going to bring him 2, so they can just do both at the same time. So our last bit of lumber for Bidoof, and now we get the we should get the attraction momentarily. Earlier on, I picked up the Golduck. And that's actually for the next mini-game that we're going to have to do, which is at Gyarados. I'm going to do that with Golduck. But yeah, again, just note how much bridge is being built for those two little bundles of lumber that I got him. It's not a small amount. But, you know, at the same time, it's quite convenient for us. It means we can cross into a lot of the other areas much faster now. All right, that should do the trick. Barrel is now also, it was mentioned, you know, we can use Barrel to increase our HP. We're not going to need that, though. And we are going to now just go straight for Gyarados. I should already have enough friends. It should not matter. So let's go chat with Gyarados. So Gyarados mentions having one. He's the keeper of the beach zone now. And I'm going to have to defeat him if I want to continue. He's like, okay, you have many friends. So this is the first check. We just passed the first check. I believe it's 25 friends that you need in order to get past Gyarados. We have that. So we are allowed to play Aqua Dash. We're going to take Golduck. A 24-second time is what we need. And then the goal is 35, but we really do need to finish under 25. So this is kind of like a racing thingy. We're going to hold 2. That's going to just, you know, mean we're going to be max speed all the time. Oh, that's bad. I'm going to retry because this one's quite tight. And the fact that I bonked on the ledge there may already mean that I wouldn't be able to get it. And at that point, it's faster to retry than it is to have to redo the attraction a second time. Let's take this turn a little wider this time. That's fine. We got through the gates here. I think that should do. Yeah, that's easily within the 24-second time limit. Okay, we got it on the second try. That's fine. We only lost like 10 seconds there. It's another case of I need those 150 berries. Like, if I fail this, I'm going to have to do an extra attraction one way or another to make sure I have enough berries. So, Sleepy Pikachu, very, very fitting for the early morning. We get the Prism piece as promised. And then Gyarados does ask why we need the Prism pieces, and it's like, yeah, you know, the world is ending. Something along those lines. Now that we've beaten Gyarados, we can go back to the Feraligatr that we talked to earlier, because Feraligatr did say that, you know, he would help us if we beat Gyarados, and we did. So Feraligatr is going to open up the next area to the Iceberg Zone. Once that's done, though, I'm going to very quickly befriend Feraligatr as well. It's a relatively quick battle. But yeah, another area has been opened up, and now we can continue on to the Iceberg Zone. But first, we talk to Feraligatr. Will I battle you? Yes, yes I will. So you may have noticed Feraligatr has a bit more health. And I can actually skip one turn by using Thunderbolt and then tackling. I do that for the first two, and then the last one I just use tackle. That's enough. There we go. That's Feraligatr. Now, behind the rock that Feraligatr just got rid of, we will find a hot air balloon, but unfortunately it's broken. And we will meet with Lapras. Lapras is the one who's going to be taking us to this next area. The Iceberg Zone is probably one of my favorite areas in this game. It's just aesthetically, it's just very nice. And there's a bunch of really quick friends that we can get there. Now, there is a little part there that is a little bit annoying. But yeah, we're going to go off to here. And Lapras is going to bring us to the Iceberg Zone. Do you want to go there? Yes, we do. So at the iceberg zone, we're going to just take the middle path straight away. Go talk to Piloswine. Piloswine is going to give us some requirements before we can talk to Empoleon, which is the keeper of this general area. Basically, every area has one like main keeper, one main protector. The first one was Venusaur. This one has Empoleon, and then the next one will have Blaziken, I believe. Okay. Are going to go to this part. And we're going to trigger the sequence with Teddiursa. So in order to get the gate open, we need some help from Mamoswine, but Mamoswine is frozen into the ice here. We're gonna have to very quickly pick this up. We're gonna bring that to Glalie. I guess so we're gonna befriend the Teddiursa here. We're going to pick up ice blocks so that the Glalie can build some igloos to impress a Frostlass. And I guess while we go around and do that, Jim, if you have a few messages, there's probably time for a few here.
Okay. Then, now a word about a sponsor. Yeah, Rinabo is a blush maker and game developer who is currently working on Floating Wonderland, a retro-style 2D puzzle platformer that uses gravity to solve puzzles as you progress through several different stages. Wishlist it now on Steam and follow @RainbowGames on Twitter for updates. And you can also win some games if you donate at least 10 euros. Like Soti, that is a turn-based roguelite developed by Dusklight and published by Akupara Games. It features a deck of playing cards used to create card combos and activate skills in the heat of battle. Bolster your arsenal of skills and overcome the evil plaguing your land. Check out Soti now on Steam. And just so you know, again, if you donate a minimum of 10 euros, you are eligible to win a copy of the game.
Feel free to do another one. I still have some time. This is going to take a little bit.
So, then we also want to thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. By using your free monthly Prime Gaming subscription on the ESA channel, you can unlock access to a range of exclusive ESA and BSG emotes while simultaneously showing support for both events.
All right. We're going to talk to the Teddiursa. The Teddiursa, there's a few different ones running around, and each of them has a different type of request. That was the quiz. That's a bit slow. So we're going to go talk to this one. This one's going to ask for a chase. That's a little faster than the quiz, at least. All right. So that's Teddiursa. We also want to befriend the Ursaring, which is conveniently right next to me, which is, that's nice. Yeah, the Glalie has built a bunch of igloos, and that's going to hopefully allow me to get to the Frostlass in a moment. So I could have done this in 3 turns, but you know, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, he's knocking me quite a lot there, but that'll be okay. Trying to think if there's if I have done all of the ice blocks at this point. I believe so, but I'm going to quickly talk to Glalie just to be sure. Okay, yeah. We got it, we got it. Sorry, I was a little distracted there for a moment. We've got a bit of a thing going on at home, and, you know, since I had my phone open for notes, I have a few notes on which Pokemon I need to befriend. I saw the message, so while the messages were being read by Jim, I quickly had to reply. Luckily, that was a part that I can kind of do on autopilot, so it's all fine, but... in any case, we're gonna go to the chairlift here. Unfortunately, I ran into the Crrool, which just barely triggered the Delibird from spawning. That's okay, though. We're gonna go talk to Prinplup, and Prinplup is not allowing us to use the chairlift just yet. However, if we befriend Prinplup, then we can. Then it's fine. So we just go out. Okay, Prinplup did get to hit us. That's fine. We knock Prinplup again. Out of the way. And, of course, we miss. And that's a third time. There we go. We got Prinplup. Now that we have Prinplup, we can go down the chairlift. And we can make some friends at the bottom here. There's 3 Pokemon I want to befriend. There is the Frostlass, which we need in order to progress the story. And then there's also Quagsire and Octillery. So those are all Pokemon that I'm going to be going for. First, we activate the chairlift now. Want to take the chairlift? Yes. Yes, of course I do. Okay, so here's Frostlass. This is the one that is required by the story, because if we want to get to the Mamoswine, we need to befriend Frostlass. Frostlass is prepared to go back, but only if we manage to beat her in combat. But, you know, at this point, we know the gist. We know how to fight a Pokemon. That's not too hard. 2 hits. And we'll get in a third. There we go. That's Frostlass. Now, the Quagsire is rather easy to befriend. We just have to give Quagsire a big berry, which lies around here anyway. And then the Octillery is another battle. I will say, you know, just before I forget, you know, the Octillery's battle animation, just watch when it happens, because it's funny. Just one of those little quirky things. But first, I'm seeing a crate here. This crate has the big berry. I can give one of those to Quagsire, and then Quagsire will be my friend. I'm seeing Octillery at least. But first, let's get this to... Okay, you're standing around. Come on. Don't walk away from me like this. There we go. You have big berry. Looks delicious. Now we're friends. And then we can talk to the Octillery here. Yes. So, we want a battle? Yeah, we want a battle. Sure. He's running away quite far, but that's okay. I just barely wasn't able to toss him into the water. Just the way it walks around and jiggles its head, it's just, I find it quite funny. That being said, we now have all of the friends we need to make in this area, and we are going to now make our way back to, where's the chairlift? Chairlift, let's go back up. We're gonna go to Glalie and Frostlass, unlock the Mamoswine, and that's going to unlock the gate to Empoleon. So we're just going to quickly have to run around to the other side here. Glalie and Frostlass are already here. But yeah, there you see the Octillery animation as well. It's like I said, I just like it. It's just funny. So Frostlass, you know, we're friends, so she doesn't mind freezing the lake for us. She's going to use Icy Wind. And Icy Wind is going to be more than enough to freeze over this entire lake and make give us a path all the way to the other side. Okay. Let's unlock Mama Swine. Mama Swine is actually strong enough to open up the gate. So let's do that. We just run up to him. We just have to bonk a few times against the ice, and that'll unfreeze him. It's very, very simple. Don't need any friends to do that. There we go. That's Mama Swine unlocked. And that in and of itself is enough. Like, the moment that it's out of the ice, it just thaws and it wakes up again. We saved Mama Swine.
Mama Swine.
So yeah, now that we tell Mama Swine that, you know, Empoleon's closed the gate, it's frozen over, and he's just gonna bonk it, and now we can continue.
Mama Swine. Mama Swine.
So this next attraction coming up, when we talk to Empoleon, is going to basically we're gonna just glide down the hill. In order to do this specific attraction, we are going to use a what's that Pokemon called again? A Glalie, the Glalie we befriended earlier. Initially, Empoleon doesn't even want to allow us to play the attraction, but Piplup jumps in and is like, no, everybody's worried about you, and will and you know, eventually, and convinces Empoleon to at least let us try. We beat the time, you know, maybe that'll change his mind. So we're gonna do that. Do we want to play Snow Slide? Yes, we do. We're gonna pick up Glalie, and while we do the Snow Slide, we have 55 seconds in which it needs to be done. Wait, do I not have? Did I not befriend Glalie? Crap. Okay. That's gonna be a little slower. I'll use Empoleon instead. I can do this with Empoleon, but that's a little awkward. But yeah, while we do this with Empoleon instead of Glalie, feel free to do the donation in the meantime.
Yeah, so we have one donation from Green Snowdog with €5 and a short message. Hello, smiley face. So thanks for your donation.
So yeah, we have to do this within 52 seconds. I'll just try to get as many of the gates as possible. We had a bit of a slow start, but should still be very doable within 52. Gotta steer correct a little. Hope we get it. Okay, the end is in sight. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so we get the bonus. I did miss a friend, so I have to go talk to Glalie again. I must have just forgotten to talk to... Yeah, basically, after freezing over the lake, I was supposed to battle Glalie for the friend. For some reason in my head, I already done that. Luckily, we had another backup Pokemon that I could use there, so it's really not that big a deal. It just means we're going to have to take a small detour on the way out. But yeah, we get the Prism piece. That's another area complete. Okay, I'm just trying to route out in my head how I do this the best, but I think I just take the right exit. Alternatively, actually, maybe that's faster. Alternatively, I could quickly befriend the Piloswine instead. And that still puts me in a good position. Piloswine that's probably faster if I do that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll befriend the Piloswine instead of the Glalie. The main reason we normally befriend Glalie specifically is because it's about like 5 seconds faster on that attraction. The battle is about the same length as Piloswine. So I don't really mind having to fight Piloswine instead. Piloswine used to be a backup in an older route. Like, it's one of the backup Pokemon that I have in case I do miss a friend somewhere. So, you know, now that we have missed a friend, might as well make use of it. That hit me. Okay, interesting. And there we go. That at least gets our friend counter to the correct amount again. Which is to say, one more than I technically need. So now we go to the left here, which is where the Drifblim is at, and we're going to go all the way back to the meeting zone. From the meeting zone, we can now go into the next area of the game. I'm going to, I don't know how many berries I missed out on, so I'm going to just do that as well. That's 10 extra berries. Now, we're going to actually start getting our very first upgrade. Earlier, I mentioned that it was possible to get upgrades from certain Pokemon for things like your... for things like your Thunderbolt, but there's that one that's actually really, really useful because it's not just an upgrade for the move itself, like the amount of damage we deal, but it's also very much an upgrade in like just going fast, and that's Dash. Dash allows us to run faster. There'll be the double dash later, which I believe allows us to do 1.5 bar of damage instead of just 1. But this one, we just get dash so that we can run faster. It's helpful for chase, but it also means it's helpful everywhere else as we get to run around. So we got our dash. That's fast. We're a little faster now. Hold on. We are not done because I can upgrade it a second time. So we power up our dash a second time. That gets us down to just 85 berries. This is why those berries mattered. This is why I needed all of those bonuses. Because if I had missed just one bonus, I wouldn't have had enough berries here to get the dash a second time. And we need that extra speed increase. And now that we have that, we are going to go talk to Cranidos. And Cranidos is going to unlock the Cavern Zone. Now, the Cavern Zone and following that, the Lava Zone are... especially Lava Zone. These are probably my least favorite areas. It's a lot of backtracking, tracking around, finding Pokemon. But we already are quite good on friends. Like, we have quite a few friends already. And that tends to be a thing in general, where early on, there's just more fast friends than there are later on in the game. Yeah, here is, we meet Mr. Mime. The story here in Cavern Zone is the train tracks are broken. And in order to actually be able to progress, we need to fix the train. Because the train is what we need in order to get to the lava zone. First things first, we go up and we talk to Mr. Mime. And then we're going to keep on the right path and we are going to be talking to Mawile. Mr. Mime suggests to talk to the Zubats in order to maybe find a way. But we're going to talk to Mawile here. And Mawile mentions, you know, the lake, the hot spring has dried up. So she doesn't really know why we're here. We're going to just follow the path here and go to the crates in the back here, where we will find Aron. I believe it is right next to Aron. So yeah, he's like, oh, maybe you'll find some iron ore for me. And we will find some iron ore for him. And I now have to give that to Aron. Luckily not too far away from us, so we just walk over to him. Now, in this first part of Cavern Zone, there are still a few friends I need to make. It's not as many. You know, Aron's the first one. This one we also kind of need for story. Aron's going to tell us, oh, hey, Mawile knew more about the train track. So it's back to Mawile, and now we're going to have to chase Mawile. Now, Mawile is a bit of a different chase than normal, because if I try to tackle Mawile from behind because of the big beak on its head, it will actually attack me, and I won't actually be able to get the friend. So I need to either tackle from the side. That's what I mean. There we go. It's either tackle from the side or you Thunderbolt right before you hit her. And then that'll stun her for long enough that you can also get it. Yeah, now Mawwall tells us that Ductrio knows where the piece of missing rail has been hidden, so we gotta go talk to Ductrio. Now, conveniently, Ductrio is over here, so we can just immediately go talk to him.
Trio.
And then Ductrio mentions something about Marowak, so we gotta find Marowak. Yeah, it's a lot of tracking around here. In the meantime, we are going to release the Magnemite here. On the way, I intend to befriend the Magnemite and the Cranidos. So let's see if we can find those two Pokemon. I'm seeing both of them here. That's good. Let's start with Magnemite. Since we've already freed the Magnemite, all I need to do to befriend it is just talk to it. It's why it's a really fast friend. Cranidos is a battle. Also not too hard to do, but a little bit slower than it was to befriend the Magnemite. So that's one hit. Get out of the way. Or bump into a wall and not, but that's okay. At least it means we're right next to the Cranidos and we can finish up the fight. There we go. So, Cranidos is now my friend. Now we go talk to the Marowak. Wiggle my way around the other Pokemon. Marowak here protects a bunch of these crates, and we need to open up these crates. Let's just say that much. But yeah, he's going to protect us. He doesn't know anything about a rail, but he's going to fight us if we want to have access to these crates. So we're going to do just that. And because he's a ground Pokemon, my electric type moves wouldn't even do anything in the first place. Oh, come on, that's an annoying double miss. Okay. Unfortunately, we missed the dash earlier, otherwise this would have been a little easier. All right, we get some berries, and then he mentions something about Ductrio, and you know, now he's our friend now. After the battle, we can now get a crate which has a Diglett in it, and Diglett will be our next cue. I believe it's this crate right here. So we open up the crate with Diglett. We talk to Diglett real quick, and then we're going to find the Big Berry, because Diglett mentions he actually did hide. Oh, whoopsie. But he mentions hiding the rail in or underneath the Snorlax. He was afraid that all of the Pokemon were going to leave the area, and you know he's missing all of his friends, and that'd be sad. So he decided to break the rail so that other Pokemon couldn't leave. It's not going to bring any new Pokemon, but at least the other ones wouldn't be leaving anymore. So we're going to deliver the Big Berry to Snorlax over here, which will hopefully get us the piece of the rail that I need. First, we talk to him. I believe now is when I can bring Big Berry. We have it around. I need that Big Berry in a moment. I'll just use Thunderbolt. He specifically asked me not to. But yeah, he's hungry after the nap, so we need the Big Berry. We have that conveniently right here. There you go. So Snorlax is now going to get out of the way. And that's actually going to trigger the hot spring from actually having water again. It is completely dried up. But now that Snorlax is gone, all of that water can flow out again. And we also find the piece of the rail, the missing rail piece that we've been trying to get. Now we're going to deliver this to Mr. Mime so we can get the reels up and running again. In the meantime, there are a few Pokemon I'm looking to befriend. Specifically, there is... we need to spawn the Drifblim. That's for later. Where's the rail? There. And we're going to befriend the Torchic, the Raichu, and the Diglett and the Drifblim. So there's quite a few Pokemon we need to be on the lookout for. But yeah, this isn't... we're just going to waggle our way back to Mr. Mime. So in the meantime, if you want to read some messages, now might be a good moment to do that.
Okay. A reminder that we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, a dedicated organization focused on hosting marathons within the Benelux region. And currently you see that we are excited to be live streaming our annual event from Hotel Asteria in Venray, the Netherlands.
Feel free to keep going. It'll take a while for me to return the minecart, the real piece anyway.
So you can donate here for a good cause, for several causes like unlocking the bonus game, which is Pokemon Red, item Underflow, which is good.
That's a really fun
It's
run.
planned for tomorrow evening. You can also put your money to some incentives, like today evening is Cyber Shadow has a category change, I think, or to low percent challenge, which is currently open with 67 euros and 86 cents out of 150. So we're currently under half here.
We're getting there. So I found both Torchic and Raichu, so I figured I'd get those chases out of the those two out of the way. I still need to get Drifblim and Diglett, and then Duck Trio as well. But Duck Trio, we'll get to eventually. That's like one of the last Pokemon I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna just continue returning this rail piece because we got distracted by friends I needed to get. We've already made a lot of friends at this point. And that's good, because there's another friend check coming up next. Because the next attraction we need to do is by Bastiodon. And if I recall correctly, you need 40 friends before Bastiodon will allow you to do the attraction. So, we have another friend check coming up soon. But first, the rails. Let's do that first. Let's hand this to Mr. Mime. There we go. There you go, Mr. Mime. Yeah, now you're all happy, and we can finally stop walking around very slowly. So now that that's done, there is another thing. See, there's a Pokemon who doesn't quite like the fact that the rails are gonna run again. It was so much fun to play on the tracks. So we are going to have to get him out of the way. That's this Gibble. Now, Gibble is also a ground type, so my Thunderbolt isn't going to do anything, but we still have our dash attack. So it's just a simple 3 dashes into the Gibble. Dodge the Dragon Breath, which can be a little annoying sometimes, but we'll get there. There we go.
Mr. Mime.
So, now that the tracks are fixed, it is time for us to get the remaining few friends so that we have enough for the friend check. Let me see, how many am I at right now? We're at 50, so we actually already have enough then. It's 50, not 40. That's my bad. But that means I actually can already do this this attraction. Yes, let's do that. We're gonna just do this one with Pikachu. Let's keep it simple. We need 4,000 points. This one's quite fun. So basically, it's like a game of Pong, but with the added bonus, if I can hit it for more powerful hits, and that gets us more points if we get to the end. So like so, basically. We're aiming for about 4,000 points. Ideally, we'd have pretty much exactly 4,000 points. But that's quite hard to aim for, so I'm just gonna try and get to 4,000, and then we're gonna just let the balls go. Okay, 1,000 more are needed. That's unfortunate. That's one too few. So we'll get this, and that's 4,000 points. Aw, we lost the ball. Gotta make sure I actually dodge the balls here, because we really don't want to... We really don't want to get more hits in. That's just going to slow things down more. But we clear the attraction. That gets us another piece of the Sky Pavilion crystal thing. That's a high enough score. And now we can actually get to the next area, but I do have 3 more friends we need to make along the way. We want to befriend Drifblim, we want to befriend Diglett, and we want to befriend Ducktrio before we leave. And once we've befriended those 3, that's when we can make our way to the next area, where Blaziken is at. So let's see if I can find our 3 missing friends here. That's a Phanpy. That's not one of them. That's a Raichu. That's also not one. We check the flag here for the Drifblim stop. That's going to make Drifblim appear. And at this point, we've been around Drifblim often enough that he's going to give us a discount, and he's going to become our friend now. That's how we get Drifblim as our friend. We just travel with him often enough. I do not actually want to travel away, though. That's not a thing yet. Okay, that's Diglett. Perfect. Diglett we just talked to. And then we walk all the way around. And then if we do, we get to Ducktrio. Ducktrio is over here. We talk to Ducktrio. And he's like, you know, we made a lot of new Pokemon pop up around here by fixing the hot springs. So, you know, he's happy. And with that, we can take the cart into the Lava Zone. Just checking that I haven't missed any friends, but I think we got everybody this time around. So onto the Lava Zone we go. So a couple more Pokemon to get here, but Lava Zone's probably the most annoying part. This is one of the parts that has a really nasty little RNG segment in it. We need to use the drill a few times, and every time we use the drill, we need to get an iron ore. But it has a 1 in 5 chance of actually giving us a gold ore instead, in which case we just lose like 15 seconds. Yeah, we will have to make our way to the end. There's 2 attractions in this place. There is the one at the end, and then there's one about halfway through. You'll see them when you see them. First, we are going to make our way down, and we're going to go talk to Camerupt. Camerupt is the one who kind of just manages the furnace over here. Oh, I'm seeing a Magby. Magby is one of the Pokemon I need to befriend, so we may as well. That's a... okay, that's not the fastest Magby to get, because it's battle instead of chase, but it's still quite fast, so we'll just go for it. We still need to get all the way to those 80 friends in order to open up the final area. We have like 53 or something at this point, so we're doing quite well. So Magby is now my friend. And we're gonna go talk to Camerupt. So, Camerupt allows us to use the furnace, but first we're going to have to beat him in battle. That's nothing new at this point, so we're gonna do just that. Okay, he missed the eruption. That's kind of convenient. And there we go, that's Camerupt. now that we've befriended Camerupt, we can now go back to Hitmontop at the very top of this area to let him, befriend him, and then we can convince him to allow us to use the drill, which we need in order to drill up some iron ore that we can use for the furnace. So we're going to make our way up here once again. You'll see that we will have to walk down a few times here. It's kind of annoying, but it's just how it's going to be. And then at the top here, we find Hitmontop. Hitmontop is also a battle, and this is kind of one of those battles that can be a little bit harder. It's not, like, hard or anything, but it's a little bit more tricky because he tends to spin my way. And ideally, I want to Thunderbolt him just before he gets to hit me, like so. And then we dash into him. Okay, that was decent. I will take that. So we're now use the drill, and we are going to hope to not get any gold ore. We need to drill for 2 iron pieces, and it's a 1 in 5 every time to get a gold ore. Unfortunately, the gold ore only serve a purpose in All Friends and not in any percent. So let's see, what's our RNG going to be like today? That's an iron ore. That's good. So now that we have an iron ore, I can't immediately drill again. I will have to use the iron ore first before I can drill it up again. Otherwise, if I were to drill up for iron ore again, I would just get another iron ore, but it would delete the other one. It would delete the first one. Like, there can only be one at a time. Now, these guys, this is Torkoal. Torkoal is the worst. A lot of the time, Torkoal isn't going to do anything, but sometimes Torkoals just decide to randomly start attacking me, and when they do, it may result in me dropping the iron ore, which that would suck. So we're gonna stay as far away from these guys as possible, and then kind of just hope that they decide to ignore us. Which so far they have. That's good. We like that. Now at the end here, we have 2 things we need to make in the furnace. We get the option to make something straight or something round. The straight thing is going to be the lever to fix the thing on the right here, and then the round is going to be a spinning top, which we need in order to play the next attraction. So we're going to start with straight. The machine is going to do its thing, and then we get this this lever, or this iron bar. We are going to be able to use that as a lever. This is also what spawns Golem. Golem is a really, really quick little friend because we just have to talk to him. It's very convenient. Yeah, we use that here because this thing is broken. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. Pikachu. Pikachu. Thank you. Gonna fix that right away. Just get that done. Might as well. This is to open up the path into the later parts of the lava zone. We will want to go there, but right now I can't do the attraction yet. So instead, we're gonna turn around. We're gonna go talk to Golem to make him our friend. So he tells us that he would trade things made out of iron and gold, but honestly, he'll be our friend even without us giving anything to him, luckily. So back to the drill. Time for our second attempt at this. Let's see if we get another iron piece or if we get unlucky. It's iron again. Perfect. Okay, so that's good RNG. We didn't get the 1 in 5 on either of our 2 attempts. So now we just have to walk down, and then I can make the round so that we can do the next attraction. Now the next attraction is probably it's a bumper thing, and it's probably the attraction that I tend to fail the most often. It either goes really, really well and we get a score way over what I should, because we only need a score of like 6,000. Or I fail miserably and we're going to have to do it a second time. That does happen quite often. This is one of those mini games where it's kind of like the controls are a little janky, and I just don't like this one very much. We'll be okay though. First, let's get the iron piece to the furnace so that we can actually move on. This is why I dislike this area. It has so much of just, you know, waddling about while holding an item. We want to make a round this time. There we go. That's the spinning top I needed. Iron top. Because now I have to pick this up and I have to carry that all the way to the Rhyperior back there. Rhyperior is our next attraction. Very straightforward from there. The idea is there will be some, like, we need to knock off other Pokemon. But generally speaking, the other Pokemon are always going to be significantly heavier than we are, which makes it kind of hard. But there are some special abilities that we can get to make it much faster. Let's see how we get on. While we do this attraction, if you want to do some more messages, I'm going to have to focus on this anyway. Yeah, the goal is 5,000. We just don't have a good Pokemon for this. So let's see how we get on. Jim, I'll hand it to you for a little bit if you want to.
Okay. Then we have yeah, some other prizes that we still can plug a bit. So with 10 euros, you also have a chance to win Streets of Rogue, which is a roguelite about player choice, freedom and anarchic fun. Developed by Matt Dabrowski and published by TinyBuild. Rather than taking place in a dungeon, the game is set in a functioning, procedurally generated city where complex AI informs denizens from all walks of life who are just trying to get by in their daily activities. In order to progress, the player will need to accomplish specific mission goals in any way they see fit. And so you know, if you donate a minimum of 10 euros, you are eligible to win a copy of the game.
Okay, we did end up succeeding. We got a bit of a good streak for a moment, and then everything went downhill. But we got enough of a good streak that we have the score we need, which was 5,000 points. So Rhyperior is going to give us our next piece of the crystal, our next prism piece, and we can now move on to the next part. This next part isn't too bad. A few friends that we need to make along the way. There's Charmander, there's Meditite, there's Ponyta, Farfetch'd, and Macargo. And that gets us to Blaziken. So really, this part isn't too bad. There is one friend that can be a little slow, which is the Ponyta. That chase is quite hard. But yeah, we finally meet up with Charmander again. We tell him, you know, Piplup and Chikorita, they're both in the meeting place. And Charmander actually asks us to battle. The first Pokemon, the first of our three original friends, and the only of our three original friends that we need to battle before we can progress. Charmander just likes the idea of becoming very strong here. So he's going to go ask Blaziken if he can get some training. And we will actually fight Charmander again in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to make my way up here. And we get to Meditite. Now, Meditite is a quiz. And I know most of the questions, but not all of them. So let's see how we do. First question. What's the name of this zone? This is the Lava Zone. Next question. Who doesn't take damage from Thunderbolt? That'd be Gible. Gible is a ground type. Last question. Who among these three can play Rhyperior's attraction? I know Torterra can. So yeah, Torterra. Yeah, I know Torterra can. Okay, cool. That was doable. At least I knew the answers. Meditite is now my friend, and we can continue. So we're going to be on the lookout for Ponyta, which should be at the top here. Ponyta can teach us Double Dash, which is very important for us. So let's go talk to you. But yeah, Ponyta is going to ask us to play Chase, but the thing with Ponyta is there'll be little flames wherever Ponyta has run. So it's rather easy to get hit by one of the flames. And then the pathing here is kind of narrow in general. Yeah, that's the flames that I was talking about. And it's very easy for me to you know, be very... Okay, that was a little dumb. It's very easy for me to be very close to the Ponyta and then get hit by one of the flames. But we got her in the end. Just getting Ponyta first try is good enough for me. Like, as long as it doesn't matter too much if it's fast or not. By befriending Ponyta, I can go back to the meeting zone and get an upgrade for my dash. Next up is Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd wants to battle, and then once we've beaten Farfetch'd in a battle, Farfetch'd will allow us to cross the bridge into the area where Blaziken is, so that we can play Blaziken's attraction. Alright, that's Farfetch'd defeated. So let's move on. Walk around. We're going to hit the switch here. That makes the bridge be ready for us. On the other side, we will quickly have to talk to Macargo before we can enter the gate. And then we'll have one more battle before we can do the last attraction of the lava zone. And then we'll be done with this area. And we'll have essentially 2 more areas left after this. There's the haunted zone, which has a bunch of ghost-type Pokemon. And it has the final area, essentially. So Macargo just checks that we've done the other 2 attractions, Bastiodon and Rhyperior, which we have. So he allows us to get to Blaziken, and he'll immediately become our friend. So that's another friend to the list. Now behind here, where Blaziken is at, Blaziken has been training Charmander. So before we actually get to do the attraction, we're going to have to fight Charmander again. But Charmander is quite a bit stronger now than it was the first time we fought him. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a quick little battle. Charmander before only had 2 bars of health. Now he has, I think, 4. It went from 2 bars of health to 4 bars of health. So it's, you know, Charmander's gotten quite a bit stronger. That's not where I was, though, Charmander. Though I will say, I appreciate you using Flamethrower on an area that I'm not at. That's quite convenient. Yeah, we're doing Thunder Shock Dash again so that we deal 1.5 bars worth of damage instead of just 1 bar. That saves 1 round. So now that we've done that, we can play the attraction. Now this is also a bit of a tough attraction. You get a bonus for getting the timing exactly right. And we will actually need to get the timing exactly right a few times in order to win this. I can just do this with Pikachu. The goal is to get about 8,000 points, but honestly, like 6,000 would be enough. So we're going to swing at these. So that's the 300, which means we get the bonus. Whenever you see 300, I got the timing exactly right. Otherwise, I'll only get 100 points. Multiplied by the amount of consecutive boulders that I've hit. Okay, we got more than enough points already. Like I said, we need 6,000. We're already on 15,000. Yeah, we got 20,000 points. That's more than enough. That'll do. So we get our bonus, and that allows us to move on. That's another piece of the crystal. Another prism piece as a reward. I think we have 9 now. I've actually lost count. Let's see, 3 here, 3 in the previous one, 2 there. So yeah, we should be on 9 pieces now. 9 of the 14 pieces. Oh, 8. Okay, I was off by 1. I'm sorry. We're on 8 pieces now. I must have miscounted. But yeah, 6 remaining pieces. We're going to have to go around and collect those. Luckily, the next section isn't too bad. I'm not going to save yet. I'm actually going to do a fun little strategy. This is the only time in the entire game where this strategy is worth it. We're going to go to the lava zone, and we're actually going to save and quit. We're going to quit out of the game, because whenever you load the save, it'll put you at the start of the area, and it's faster to go to Driftblim from there than it is from here. So we're going to save. Yes. Save complete. You'd like to quit. Yes. And then we're just going to immediately open it back up, play in the park. And this gets us closer to Driftblim. And despite, all of the time it takes to save, quit out, load back in the game again, it is still faster to do it this way than walking there the other way around. Now I can just immediately run here and we get to Driftblim. The only point in the game where that's actually the faster thing to do. So we're going to go to Meeting Place. There's really only one thing I need to do in Meeting Place, which is get my my dash upgraded one more time. Yes, let's go. Skip the cutscene. So we are going to be getting double dash here. But first, all 4 of us are here together. We finally found all of the friends we entered the park with, and they are now able to get the hot air balloon. That way we can get into the sky. Because, we need to prevent the sky from falling, so we need to get to the sky. But unfortunately, there's a hole in our hot air balloon. So our friends are going to fix that while we pick up more pieces of more of the prism pieces. We did still have 6 more to collect after all. So yes, Chatot at this point tells us about the prism pieces and that we need to bring them to the Sky Pavilion. So we ask him what the Sky Pavilion is, and Chatot says Chatot doesn't know. Again, the fact that he even knows that that place exists is something. But Miss Rivas suggests we go into the haunted zone here. Let's talk to Ponyta. We've befriended the Ponyta so we can get double dash now. That's Skorupi, that's not Duskull. Where's Duskull? Did I just completely... Okay, sorry about that. There is Duskull. That's my bad. Okay, let's go into the haunted zone. There are 3 attractions. Is that right? 2 attractions. There's a few attractions in here. The next one's actually going to be pretty much immediately. Hello? Pikachu? Move on, please. All right, so we are now at the haunted zone. We go in, and on the right here is actually the next attraction already. This is Tangrowth. This is one of the fastest attractions in the game. We're going to use the Raichu here, and we're going to see if we can get some cool little skips. See, basically you swing from vine to vine just like we did in the previous run. So, I'm sure Double would approve. But you can actually skip some of the vines if you get the timing just right. So let's see if we do. Ah, that's unfortunate. We just barely didn't get that one. And there we go. Okay, we failed once, but 15 seconds. That's pretty all right. The bonus you get here for 28 seconds, and the clear is 40 seconds. So, you know, that was good enough. So this will be our 9th piece, and now we can actually go in, and there are 2 more attractions in here. One of them is quite easy. The next attraction is one of the easier attractions to do, and then the last one can be a little tricky. Yeah, we get another prism piece. We do have to befriend a few Pokemon while we're in the haunted zone, although this is one of the faster areas. It's also one of the areas that, I mean, technically it has 2 areas, being outside and inside. But at the same time, like the outside, we spend so little time outside here that this is one of the only areas where you kind of just go from one to the next, and it just kind of feels like one bigger area rather than 2 separate ones, like with the beach and the cavern and lava zones. So yeah, that's just convenient. Makes it relatively short, especially since it does still have 3 attractions. So Duskull is going to give us a tour of the house, which we do have to follow him around for a little bit. First, we get to see, you know, the Great Hall, and he mentions there's an attraction here, and this is where Dusknoir is going to be at. But Dusknoir isn't here right now, so we can't do the attraction. Okay, Umbreon was in the way. We can't do that just yet. Behind this door is the library, but we are not allowed entry just yet. The door is locked. And then we have a similar story here. Beyond this door is the place that the ghosts gather and where they have parties. Now that we've done that, we're gonna kind of we're gonna see Ghastly. Ghastly is going to open up some doors for us, and we're going to go upstairs to befriend a few Pokemon. There's not very many I need to befriend, but there are a few. There's the hallway. This area is quite dark, so sometimes it's a little hard to see where the hallway is exactly. We get to Ghastly.
Ghastly.
We see all of these doors mysteriously open now, which, hey, means we can get inside. So we're going to befriend Ghastly, and this is a friend that either is really, really, really quickly, or it's going to take a while. We didn't get the quick one. Okay, that was... So normally what you do there is you dash and then immediately jump, and if you get the timing just right, you can hit him before he even leaves the room. Which is convenient, but unfortunately we failed this time around. Next room has... Oh, no, I'm overmashing a bit. The next room has... the room attached to this one has a painting of Gengar that we need to talk to. And that, you know, you hear the bell ring, and the bell ringing means that our good friend Dusknoir is now available, and we can play the attraction. So we're going to go do that. We're going to play Dusknoir's attraction, get ourselves our 10th piece, at which point we only need 4 more pieces of 4 more prism pieces. There we go. Let's go in here, and then just around the corner. So this is Speed Slam. Basically, it's like the very first game that we played, where you just have to run quickly. The difference being that now there are going to be obstacles that we need to either go through if we're a ghost, that we can just kind of phase through, or we can just break them. We have Cranidos. Cranidos is quite good for this. So let's grab Cranidos and let's do this. Okay, I'm going to shake the controller a lot here, so you may hear some of that. Yeah, Cranidos just breaks the blocks. We need to beat it within 12 seconds, which we easily get. That's another attraction cleared. This is going to open up the Great Hall, the party hall, where all the Pokemon would go to have parties. And we're going to go talk to a Mischievous there, I believe. So we get our 10th prison piece. 10 down, 4 more to go. And now we get access to the other hall. Dusknoir becomes our friend, so that's another one for the list. Yeah, I just rushed to the back here so we can talk to our friend Duskull. It's going to open up the door for us. And then, you know, they're happy to see a visitor. It's not often Pokemon come around here, but there is a problem. And Miss Mischievous is going to tell us all about that. You see, normally this is the place where they have parties, but recently the piano broke. One of the piano wires broke, so now the piano doesn't work anymore. And, you know, the parties aren't the same without music, right? So Mischievous asks if we could maybe help see if we could find something to replace the wire with. And Mischievous suggests to see if we can find a Spinnerack, because Spinnerack thread would do the trick. And, you know, we're going to be more than happy to help out here. Oh, that's not... I meant to go up the stairs, not next to the stairs. Ghastly will open up the door for us. Very convenient. Now, before I actually get to the Spinnerack, there is another Pokemon I need to get here, which is Abra. I need Abra in order to be able to do the next attraction, because right now none of my Pokemon would work for it. Luckily, Abra is a really quick friend to get anyway, so really it doesn't matter too much. So that's where Abra is at. We talked to, and Abra is like, oh, you want to be my friend? Okay, I'll be your friend. And now we're friends.
Ghastly.
And then we go to Spinnerack. And Spinnerack is, oh, you want some thread to fix the piano? Yeah, sure, that's not a problem. And Spinnerack gives us this thread. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to waddle about a little bit again, as we need to go fix the piano. And that's on the other side of the house. So while we waddle through the house, Jim, you got any more messages for me?
Okay, then we go a bit further where that we are raising money for Mind here, but why? What is the cause actually? And in every region of the world, mental disorders surpass 10% of a population. Governments seem to lack momentum in reducing the burden of mental health problems, as only 55% have mental health awareness and only 8% have suicide prevention plans. Organizations like Mind help raise awareness to the issue, helping us get one step closer to a world where everyone gets the help they need. And all of your donations go to Mind during this marathon.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, we're almost at the point where we can deliver the thread. Once we've delivered the thread, we're actually already very close to the end of this area. There isn't that much more that we need to do. There's a few more friends I need to make. And then we can go for the final attraction of the Haunted Zone, at which point we can go to the Granite Zone, which is like the before last area of the game, essentially, not counting the Sky Pavilion. Oh, I mean, he talks about Mischievous, not Duskull. There. So, the thread will fix the piano, and now the piano starts to work again. And now the ghosts can have parties again. Well, the ghosts and Pichu, I should say, because there's also a Pichu. And with that, Ms. Magius appears from the library. Final doors now open up. And we're just gonna quickly run around to go to the library, because behind the library there is a secret room. And in this secret room, there is the last attraction. See, Duskull actually does mention this, you know, to look for clues in the bookcase for a suspicious gap. And it seems there is a book currently missing. However, there's a Sableye here who has a book. A book with a key on it, too. That might be a little bit suspicious. So, Sableye is willing to give it to us in return for a quiz. Here comes question number 1 in the haunted zone. Who is close friend to the ghosts? That's Pichu. Question number 2. Sableye plays. Can Sableye play it? I don't think so. Yeah, correct. He doesn't. Last. Who's hanging in the porch? Outside. Or what's hanging in the porch? I think it's lights. The Spinneracken is inside, and I don't think I saw any curtains in the porch. It's correct. So we finish the quiz, and we get the book, which we can now put into the empty slot over there. That's going to open up a secret. Because, you know, what is a ghost-type area without a secret hidden room, right? Okay, now we're going to come up on the one attraction for which I actually need the sensor. Well, one of the one attractions I actually need the sensor bar for a little bit. See, at the bottom room here, we will find the we will find Rotom. Rotom has set up shop down here. He's been stuck behind here for a little bit, but you know, he's set up an attraction. We've made enough friends already. I don't remember how many you need at this point, because this is not usually a point where I'm short on friends. And we get to play the attraction. The goal is 5,000. We can play with Abra, which is the easiest to do this with. Okay, here we go. I got a little too close for comfort there. Okay, we're almost at 5,000 points. Okay, we've got our 5,000 points, so now I can just let them grab me. It got a little close at one point, but we got through it quite well. That's 5,000 points. That's our bonus. And we are done with this area, which means we now have one general area left, which is the Granite Zone, which is what the door behind Skorupi. We do need to make a few more friends before we actually leave, though. If on our path, we are going to try to befriend Electrode. The nice thing about Electrode is it's already there and we just have to talk to it, so it's really fast to do that. If it's not on our way, I can go for a backup, which I might not even need considering we picked up Caterpie. We're still +1 on what we normally would need, but that's okay. I do like the idea of having one more. Yeah, there's a few Pokemon outside that we can all befriend. Pretty much all of them are just going to be, I need to talk to them. Like, I don't need to play any mini games to do that. Yeah, we just need to quickly see if I can find Electrode. See if we can talk to him real quick. So Mismagius talks a bunch about what's been going on with the park. I am not seeing Electrode here. That's okay. There is a backup which is hardly any slower, just outside of the building. And while we run outside, feel free to do a quick donation.
Yeah, the donation comes from Sapphire Blue World with an amount of 15 euros and the message, "Good luck on the run, Crrool. I won't be able to watch much since I'm working, but wanted to sneak in a small donation to cheer you on."
Well, thank you, Sapphire. All right, so you see the entrance here. First off, there is a Drifloon. And if we talk to Drifloon, Drifloon will want to be our friend. And you see this dead tree over here? Well, there's actually a Pokemon inside the tree. That's a Kakuna. So we just bonk the tree to have Kakuna show up, and then we talk to Kakuna. He's like, I want to be your friend. So now Kakuna is our friend. And then I have the backup that I needed to go for not finding Electrode, which is bonking into this tree as well. And that's going to make Metapod show up. And then we can befriend Metapod, and that should do. Now, this time around, I'm actually not going to go to Meeting Zone through Driftblim. This is the only area where it's actually faster to just walk out. You'll see in a moment where the Driftblim spot is. You might already see on the mini-map, it's the red square. And, you know, Driftblim shows up over here, and the exit is, like, at the sign here. So it's actually faster for me to rush down the path than it is to grab Driftblim, have him show up, go through all those animations. We don't want to do that. So at this point, the tree house is getting along quite nicely. They've been working on that. The hole in the balloon has been sealed as well. So soon we'll be up in the air. You know, we're not quite there yet. We are going to... oh, I don't want to go into the treehouse yet. We are going to go talk to Skorupi. Skorupi guarding the granite zone. This is the last regular area of the game. And this is also where the last friend counter is at. At the end of this area, there is a door that I can only unlock if I have 80 friends. If I don't have that, I am not allowed to pass. That's why we've been making so many friends along the way. Now, I should end on 81 friends, because I got one extra as a backup in case I missed something somewhere. So we should have just about enough. But first, we're going to go to the granite zone, and we are pretty much going to go for the next attraction right away, because there is another attraction pretty much at the start of this area. So I do think the granite zone is one of the prettiest areas in the game. Just the very ruin vibes that it has is really cool, I think. But yeah, at the top there where Jumpliff is at, that's where the path towards the Sky Pavilion starts. But yeah, we're going to just rush in. We're going to talk to Charizard. There was actually an old route where you would get Charizard as a backup, but it's quite a slow fight. He has a lot of health. So we don't have to do that. I'm just going to rush here into the Absol. Earlier we befriended Ponyta, and Ponyta is actually really good for this next one. It is just like the first game again, but now with hurdles that we need to jump over. So we pick up Ponyta. 12 seconds, or 12.7 seconds is the time to beat. So let's go for that. There we go. Didn't hit a single hurdle, 10.8, very good. So, that's another one done, and we are now very close to being done with all the attractions. There is 2 more left. So we get a prism piece from Absol. And now we're going to go through this area. Now, in order to actually get to the end, it's more than just get 80 friends. That is part of the requirement. But there's also the additional requirement of... there's 3 secret words that we need to learn. And only if we learn the 3 secret words can we play the last attraction here. And will the path to the 13th piece open up. We also get Hoppip as a friend. Hoppip was the one who would have actually tasked me with beating Absol's attraction. But since I'd already done that, it doesn't really matter. We hit the switch here. This is a turning bridge. So I need to hit the switch in order to to get to the other side, but I gotta make sure I hit the switch again because we're gonna have to walk across it the other way around in a moment. So we're turning that back so that we can actually get to the other side later. So it's time we, you know, I've been talking about this gate for which I needed 80 friends. This is the gate. It's this, well, it's not technically this gate. This gate is what I need the 3 words for, but then right behind here is where the attraction is that requires the actual 80 friends. So, like, you kind of do them at the same time. There's technically, like, 2 Pokemon you could befriend behind it, but we're not going to bother. We gotta get the secret words, and the first stop here is this Blastoise. If we wish to pass beyond this point, we need to beat Blastoise. Which, you know, I'm cool with that. There we go. That's Blastoise defeated. We get a bunch of berries, and now we can go into the door over here to cross the bridge sideways, which is why we positioned it like that. Now, there is a Skorupi, and I actually, like, it's supposed to be my next stop, like the next Pokemon I talk to, but I actually don't have to do that. I can just pass this Skorupi and just completely ignore him, and just do the thing I'm supposed to do here before I talk to him. And that's actually faster, so we're going to ignore Skorupi for now. There's a sort of obstacle hop that we have to do here. There's a bunch of platforms, and I need to get to the other side to get to that switch. Because that switch opens up another secret. There we go. We hit the switch. And this switch is going to allow me to get the first password. Because here's the secret door that gets opened as a result of me hitting the switch. And that gets us to the first Pokemon, which holds one of the 3 secret words. We've already met one of them, one of the other ones, but we're going to do that one last. First, we're going to go behind here. And then at the end here, we will find Porygon Z. And Porygon Z is going to teach us the first word after we beat his quiz. So we're going to do another quiz. Let's do that. Yes. Right, first question. What's honored in Granite Zone? A promise. Next question. At the meeting place, who is the gatekeeper? That's Skorupi. Final question. What can you dig up in Lava Zone? That would be iron ore. Okay, he didn't do the funny question. He can actually ask you, what's my name? And as he's asking that, the name is on the screen. So the answer is on the screen. It's always funny when that happens, but he didn't go for it this time. There's a list of questions they go for. Like they pick 3 questions at random from a list of questions every time you do the quiz. So there's a few, there are some fun questions in there, but we didn't get any of them this time. I believe now is when I talk to Skorupi. Now that we've done all that, Skorupi will just immediately become our friend. Now we have Bronzor. Bronzor is our next stop. He won't let us pass unless we know at least one of the secret words, which is love. And because we already know it, Bronzor is going to just immediately let me through and become my friend. And I can go to the next battle, which is Electivire. So, quickly going to battle Electivire. 4 hits needed. But generally, this fight doesn't take too long. Like, it's pretty easy to dodge his attacks. And then I can dash into him and deal enough damage quick enough. So, time for us to get the second password. The next password is being protected by Togekiss. But in order to be able to reach Togekiss, I gotta go up here. We gotta hit this switch. That's going to get rid of the flames here. And now we can cross to the other side to where Togekiss is at. Take this little cable car. Yes, we do want to ride the rope cart. Now, Togekiss we befriend by doing an obstacle hop. So we're going to do that in a moment. We're going to just talk to you. Yes, we're trying to reach the Sky Pavilion. You're correct. You have a secret word. So let's befriend you so that we can get the secret word here. So this is the, well, not technically the last obstacle hop because the final boss has an obstacle hop in it as well. But it's the last regular obstacle hop until the final boss. I kind of want to position my camera a little better here. Okay, we made it. It was a little close on some of the jumps, but we got there in the end. So that's Togekiss done. Our secret word is peace. Now, the last secret word is actually held by the Snorlax, which we saw at the very start of the game and then later on in Cavern Zone. So we're going to have to do a little bit of traveling around to go back to the Snorlax now. So we're going to go to Drifblim. We're going to fly our way there. That's why we triggered the Drifblim from showing up in Cavern Zone, even though we never needed to use Drifblim there. Just the fact that it's there means we can get to save a little bit of time there now. I believe this is faster. Go around here. Up the ramp, and then we can get to Drifblim at the top here. We're at around the point where this might actually be a free ride. Drifblim does hand out some free rides. Once you've done enough of them, eventually Drifblim lets you travel around for free. Let's see if we can get that this time. It's still 10 berries. Okay, Cavern Zone. So we got to talk to Mawile, then we talk to Snorlax, and then we can go back and we can go for the before last attraction of the game. First, Mawile. So Mawile thanks us, finally, and now Mawile is finally our friend, because all this time Mawile wasn't actually, or hadn't been counted as a friend just yet. We talk to the Snorlax. And we tell him what we're doing. We're telling him that we're trying to save the world, and he gets us the last secret word, which is rainbow. And now Snorlax is also our friend. So, back to the Granite Zone. That's all we needed to do here. And we can now... we now have the 3 secret words, so we should be able to talk to Flygon and pass. I should quickly check if we have enough friends at this point. We have 81, which is exactly 1 more than we needed, which is the Caterpie. That's the only extra I picked up. In hindsight, I probably really didn't need to get Metapod as well, but whatever. So we may now travel onward as part of the promise that we've made that we would get the 3 secret words. Yeah, Flygon just reminds us that, you know, bad things are happening, but that's okay. We're here to save the world. We're already in the process of doing that, and we're quite far. So we get to do our last friend check here. You need 80 friends to be able to do this attraction. Otherwise, you're not allowed to continue. Since we have 80 friends, we can just play it immediately. All good. We're going to take Togekiss. This is basically like the flying minigame that we did earlier, except we now have Air Slash, which means we can actually hit the targets from a distance. So we are going to try to hit those and get, I think it's 12,000 points. remember the first time I played this, I didn't realize you had air slash like we do. So I actually thought I had to hit enough targets physically, and that's hard. Not something I can recommend here. Hit 1,000 target, that's always nice. I think that hits the minimum requirement of 10,000. And there we go, 13,000. That's above, I believe, 12,000 you need for the bonus. Yes, it is. So, there we go. We are now done with the before last attraction. There's just one attraction left in the game, and we've already hit all the requirements. I don't need to make any more new friends. We will make a few along the way still, but that's only because they happen to be required. We don't actually need to make any more. We get the 13th prison piece, and now I can just go talk to JimB to travel beyond the ruins into the part where we will meet Shaman, Pokemon who's going to take us up to Mew. Yeah, we just quickly travel to the end of the area here. This is JimB. JimB is going to let us pass now. We've met all the requirements. We have 13 prison pieces. We have 80 friends. We've cleared Salamance's attraction. And now JimB is going to be our friend as well. This is what I meant with we will still make some friends along the way because it's just going to happen. We don't have to anymore, and that's convenient. Because that's one of the things that takes the most time, just getting all of the friends. Like, a lot of the routing in this game boils down to how can we get enough berries to get the upgrades we need, and how do we get enough friends. So this is the flower zone. This is the last area before the Sky Pavilion. It's also the smallest zone, and generally speaking, the zone that we're pretty much going to spend the least time in. We're going to follow the path. We're going to talk to Blossom. That's our first stop. Just a few Pokemon I need to talk to unlock the mystery so that we can get to the top. So that's Blossom. Now we go further up to the top to talk to Shaman. Should be around here. Yep, there it is. That's Shaman. So Shaman tells us that in order to get to the attraction, we need to have the mirror, and the mirror has gone missing. Luckily, the mirror is in an area we've already been in, so it's quite quick to pick up. Yeah, I don't need to talk to Marie. Or I don't go the wrong direction. So we spawn Drifblim so that we can actually fly back to that area where the mirror is at. And that is the meeting zone. Remember that treehouse that we've been building? The mirror is actually at the top of the treehouse. So we just gotta run back there. We gotta get to the top of the treehouse, and then we can pick up the mirror and unlock the last attraction. Now, just to give you a little bit of a reference of what's left, we're gonna do this attraction after we pick up the mirror. That then unlocks the Sky Pavilion, which is where the final boss is going to be. And then, you know, we beat the final boss, which it has a few phases. It takes a little bit to beat him. But, you know, we beat the final boss, and then once we beat the final boss, that's it. That's the game. Further up. There's a few weird turns that you got to do at times to get all the way to because the mirror is all the way at the top of the treehouse, and Pikachu doesn't quite turn fast enough. But there it is. That's the mirror. We found it, and just like that, it's just gonna immediately set me back into the flower zone. Like, I don't actually have to waddle that thing all the way through granite. Luckily, that would be a nightmare. That'd just be an extra 10 minutes to the run if we had to do that. I do have to waddle it to the attraction. Like, I don't spawn near Drifblim, but honestly, there are worse things in the world. So this next attraction is not a very hard one, but it is the longest attraction in the game. This is where we are going to do Rayquaza's attraction. Yeah, we place the mirror at the top. And that's going to allow Rayquaza to spawn here. We can get the 14th and last piece, and we just have to get that to the Sky Pavilion and face Mew. But first, here's Rayquaza with an epic entrance. Yes, we are the one who returned it. We are trying to clear the last attraction. He does tell us we can't reach the Sky Pavilion unless we have every prison piece, and he has one more. So, let's go beat it. The goal is 30,000. We are going to grab Absol, and we are going to get to that goal of 30,000. So this area is two parts. First, there's an obstacle course of sorts, and then once we've cleared that, we have to switch our controller, and we have to get some more points in that area. Now it's fine if I miss a bunch of rings here. Like, generally speaking, this last area will get me more than enough points to make up for it. This is one of those where it's quite easy to get enough points. Main thing is we just don't want to fall off, and we don't want to hit any of the electrodes. So we're on 8,000 already. It tells us to switch the controller. Gotta make sure I don't hit the process. But yeah, if I hit them accurately, the points here are doubled. There's plenty of 2,000 pointers you can get towards the end. So yeah, like I said, we needed 30,000. We got 40,500. So more than enough points. That's the last attraction. It is now a few Pokemon we need to talk to, and then we can get to the final area and we can go face the final boss. Would I like to say... we don't need to. Okay, so... we now need to talk to Shaman again, because we still have to get the watering can. In order for Shaman to change into its sky form, the Garcidia flower has to bloom, for which it needs a watering can. Now, luckily, that's not usually that hard to get, because there should be a Blossom around here somewhere. Yep, it's over there. And Blossom has this watering can. Which is enough to make it bloom, and now we are going to get into a cutscene, and then it's the final area. So this is how it's going to work. The Mew fight, if you want to call it that, consists essentially of 4 sections. And we're going to have to go through all 4 of these in order to beat him. Time is pretty much immediately after we finish the last section. It's on the on the black fade out after we get a few text boxes after the final boss. The first thing is going to be kind of a hide and seek. Mew is going to actually hide away from us, and we need to find Mew. Then we have an obstacle hop. Then we have a battle, which consists of 3 battles. And then lastly, we're going to have to do a chase. So basically, we're going to do every single mini game so far, with the exception of a quiz. We don't have to do a quiz. But yeah, it's all 3 of those that we or all 4 of those that we have to do consecutively. Once we beat Mew on the chase, that's when there's a few more text boxes after that, and that's when time is. So we should be right around estimate, a little bit beneath it, I think. This shouldn't take 10 minutes. Yeah, this is the Sky Pavilion. This is where it's all going to be at. I think if, in case you want to do any messages, now might be a good time to still do that. This will also be the last time I'll have for you.
Yeah, then just mention that Benelux Speed Gathering also supports small community events. And you can see these events like the Colin McRae-a-thon happening live on our own Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/BSG_marathon.
All right, so we get the instruction here that this is where hide and seek happens. Mew tends to kind of troll the Pokemon here. Mew is a bit of a prankster, honestly. So we got to get to the top here. We got to jump over the gaps, otherwise I fall down and that loses. Then I have to redo that. We meet up with Piplup here. Piplup mentions not having seen Mew around. Okay, so Mew is not up here then. Now we're gonna fall down. I'm gonna go back to the balloon. Not pass by it, and we meet up with Piplup. And Piplup is like, no, I haven't been up there. Go check again. So we're gonna go back up there. Jump one and the second one. Oh, nearly fell down there. That would have been bad. So we talk to Piplup again, and we learn that this is not actually Piplup. This is Mew. Piplup has transformed. So that concludes the hide and seek. But there's a little more we need to do. We're going to play some skill games. So I'm going to talk to the Mew again, and that's going to trigger the second section of the fight, or second section of the final boss, which is the obstacle hop. So we see the obstacles appear here. This one can be a little tricky. Usually it's not too bad, but it can be a little bit tricky to do this obstacle hop. Yeah, we gotta just get to the top. That's all. Oh, let's not fall off. Better to take my time than it is to fall off. Okay, so far so good. If you fall off, you have to redo the entire thing. Like, it doesn't set you back to the last platform. So, kind of important not to fall off. Better to take that a little slow. So that's the second section done. That's the obstacle hop. Now we are going to move on to section number 3, which is the battles. And this is 3 back-to-back battles. So Mew is going to transform into some really powerful Pokemon. And, you know, we just need to beat them. Simple as that. One, two, three, 4. That's the first one. That's Magmortar done. It's Magmortar, then Garchomp, then Tyranitar. We're gonna battle again, this time with Garchomp. So because it's Garchomp, my Thunderbolt wouldn't do anything. That's fine though. We just deal 5 hits and we should win. Alright, that's the second battle done. 1 more to go, just Tyranitar left. And then we just have the dash left. Okay, the last of the battles section, and then we are done with battles. At which point we only have the 4th section of our 4 sections of the boss left, which is the chase. That's also kind of the hardest one. Usually I struggle more with obstacle course, so the fact that we've already done obstacle hop is kind of nice. generally speaking, the fights are not that hard because they're kind of predictable and they're kind of like, it's quite easy to dodge away from their moves. So that's Tyranitar done. Time for the last section. Now, like I said, time is there'll be a few text boxes after the fight, after which we will have time coming up. So we should be about a minute and a half or so at most, no, less, like 30 seconds to a minute away from time. Okay, we got the chase. That was actually a really decent chase. Okay, so get ready on time. Yeah, it's not much left. Mew is now our friend. Two more text boxes. And time. Oh. Okay, I called it slightly early. I thought that was the last text box, and then there's like 4 more here. Sorry. So it's actually like 10 seconds more, but that's actual time. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's Poképark. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is honestly just a really fun little game to pick up. There's a lot of routing to it, but other than that, execution-wise, it's not all that hard. I hope you guys had fun. That'll be my last run for the event, but there is sure to be many, many more really cool runs and runners coming up. You see here the pieces restoring the crystal, and now the sky won't be falling anymore. So yeah, we saved the world. Anyway, with all that being said, that was it for me. I'm Crrool. Like I said, you can follow me on Twitch. Follow the Pokemon crew, especially the Poképarks. The Poképark runners are all really amazing. And yeah, enjoy the rest of BSG.
Thank you very much, Crrool, for a great run and showing us all the ways to make friends. Next, we're in the setup for Messenger, played by Dion Keto, in the category 8-bit no out of bounds. So stay tuned.
Take